Hey, what's going on, role players? It's the Bard here, and welcome back to the corner. So what's on the chopping block for today? Just wondering if you could do Unconventional Monk or Unconventional Barbarian. Well, I may have a little request for you if you don't mind me asking. Can you do more D&D builds? I love to play with your builds, please. Of course I don't mind. This channel is all about the role players and what they want anyway. But in all seriousness, yes, I would like to do a few more build videos. It just so happens there's been a resurgence in my unconventional character class videos. 6 out of the top 10 most viewed videos at the moment are from the unconventional series. It's really great to see that people are enjoying those kinds of videos, because they're some of the most fun to make. So let's give the people what they want. Alright boys and girls, it's time to get your rage on for some Unconventional Barbarian. What I've noticed about the Barbarian is it seems to be geared towards big critical hits, so it tends to favour things like two-handed weapons. Additionally, there doesn't seem to be a great deal of support for two-weapon fighting style characters, so I wanted to explore a few options that maybe made that a little bit more viable, and perhaps gave you a little bit more flexibility in your character development. The Savage in Shadow stalks its prey through the dark areas of the world, be that the dense forest, the high mountain passes, or even the twisting caverns of the Underdark. To start off with, we're going to use 5 levels of Path of the Zealot Barbarian, and we're also going to add in 3 levels of Gloomstalker Ranger. I wanted to take full advantage of the additional damage that a Barbarian gets when they rage, but in order to make this dual weapon style work, you're going to need the 2-weapon fighting ability. This is absolutely necessary for damage consistency, which then allows you to use your offhand attack and still gain the bonus damage from your ability score modifier. Dual Wielder becomes an even more necessary feat for this particular kind of character. Because the Barbarian only gets a bonus to damage when using strength attacks, there aren't a great deal of weapons that deal very high damage that don't have the light or finesse properties. So being able to use weapons that are of regular size while still applying the benefits of 2-weapon fighting can really help you to keep up with some of the heavy hitters in your group. Umbral Sight is a great addition from the Gloomstalker archetype, granting dark vision to characters who don't have it, or if you do have it, you get a bonus on that as well. Additionally, creatures that rely on dark vision can't see you, making you an absolute terror in the darkness. If you have to activate your rage on the opening round of combat, Dread Ambusher allows you to keep your damage consistency up, because both rage and 2-weapon fighting require the bonus action in order to use. This allows your character a consistent number of attacks over all the rounds in which you're participating in that encounter. The final important ability of note is your Divine Fury. While it does offer you a little extra damage per round, its real value comes in the type of damage in which it deals, so you have the choice between Radiant and Necrotic. It might be best to go for Radiant, considering there are certain abilities that are broken by Radiant damage, and other creatures like Undead often have vulnerabilities to those types of damage as well. This character may not have the damage potential of a Great Weapon Master build, but don't make the mistake in thinking that it's weak. This character has an absolute huge toolbox of things it can do in a wide variety of situations. This character can effectively use a variety of different weapons, so that you can always have the type of damage you want, be that bludgeoning, slashing, piercing. Additionally, almost any enchanted weapon you find is fair game for this character to use. Versatile weapons are a really good opening strategy when you're using your Dread Ambusher, allowing you to get those 3 attacks with a decent damage roll, and then when you're ready you can pull out the next weapon and go in for more of a 2-weapon style, which will then improve your defense because of your dual wielder feat. This actually encourages you to mix up your fighting style a little bit when the situation changes and the encounter demands some flexibility in your approach. Your Ranger levels offer some good survival and tracking abilities, and the Dread Ambusher class feature gives you a bonus on your initiative, which can be a great complement to the Feral Instincts ability that a 7th level Barbarian gets, meaning that even if you don't take the alert feat, you may still find yourself at the top of the initiative table very often. I would be really excited to play this character myself. It's fast, it's flexible, it's strong, and it can adapt to a wide variety of scenarios. I can see this build appealing to players of all skill levels, be that the new player who just wants to figure out what kind of weapon they want their character to use, to the adept player who has a toolbox of things that they can use to deal with any problem that gets in their way. Something that often irks me about players is that sometimes when they're going to play a barbarian, they tend to default to the brutish, dim-witted thug, when I believe the character can be so much more. This character takes the path of the Ancestral Guardian's focus on using spirits for protection and guidance and pushes it to the absolute extreme. This is more of a thematic build that focuses on knowledge and wisdom, but it's still no slouch in combat either. 6 levels of Path of the Ancestral Guardian and 7 levels of Hexblade Warlock might seem like an absolutely insane combination, but then again, these are unconventional builds. You have a lot of freedom in this build, and it doesn't actually require you to take any of these feats, but the more that you do choose to incorporate, the more it cements the idea into the other players' minds that there is something that's guiding your actions. The spirits constantly speak to you, giving you whatever information you need in any given scenario. Alert means you can't be surprised. Keen Mind allows you to recall all kinds of information, even things that most players might have overlooked. And Skilled suggests that there's something in the background that's just guiding your hand. If you're looking for something a little bit more tangible, however, your Warlock invocations really come into play. Eldritch Sight suggests that you're being guided to places of magic and mysticism. Eyes of the Runekeeper is easily reflavoured so that the souls of the dead tell you the secrets of ancient languages. And of course, Ghostly Gaze allows you to see past solid objects, as though you're looking into the realm beyond. You have absolute freedom in your pact as well, so Eldritch Smite can augment your damage, Gift of the Ever-Living Ones is great for healing, or if the spirits are whispering dark secret rituals to you, Book of Ancient Secrets is ideal for that as well. When it's time to get your rage on, your Ancestral Protectors and your Spirit Shield can really mitigate the damage that's coming towards the rest of your adventuring party. Of course, you need to be able to attack as well, so the souls of your ancestors tell you exactly where and how to strike. Hexblade's Curse can be a great representation for that with a little reflavouring. And finally, things take a little bit of a darker twist, as your Accursed Spectre ability allows the souls of the dead to rise up and fight beside you. I feel there's a lot of potential here for some really varied styles of play. Ancestral Protectors and Accursed Spirit abilities are very obvious and direct, whereas if you chose to take any of the feats, they're far more subtle in their application. And if you like a bit of a blend of both styles, then you've got your invocations, which are offering an array of themed and very useful abilities for your character build. This character has the potential to be everything from the spirit-guided combatant to the wise tribal leader, and everything in between. Another archetype that's got my attention is the Path of the Storm Herald, and there's some interesting abilities in it that actually synergize quite well with another class, and turn it into quite an effective character when it comes to crowd control. So with 6 levels of Storm Herald Barbarian, we're going to add to that 6 levels of the Tempest Domain Cleric. We're going to take C as our Storm Aura, as this is going to give the character the ability to project lightning in the radius around it. When selecting feats, Polearm Master is a very good candidate. It's not absolutely essential, but it's going to be really effective in getting those opportunity attacks and making the most of your additional rage damage with your bonus attack that you can use with the hilt of the weapon. This bonus attack is also going to come in handy in those situations where using your aura isn't practical or is potentially dangerous to your adventuring party. Mobile may be the more valued feat for this character build, but there's a good deal of synergy between Mobile and Polearm Master. With Mobile, you don't provoke an opportunity attack from a creature that you've just attacked, and of course with Polearm Master, you're able to make an additional attack as a bonus action. This is going to allow you to weave in and out of the enemy ranks and really get your positioning correct in order to make use of your crowd control abilities. Whenever your Storm Aura deals damage, the lightning damage is going to proc the Thunderbolt Strike from your Tempest Cleric ability. This is going to push the enemy creatures back and allow you some space and some breathing room where you can make use of your reach weapon. In those situations where you're not able to get an attack of opportunity with your polearm, you still have your Wrath of the Storm available. Creatures that hit you can take lightning damage, which will then proc your Thunderbolt Strike again, pushing the creature back. This sets up your next round nicely because you're already raging, you're getting extra damage from your weapon attack, and on the creature's turn, when it decides to move towards you, you'll be able to use your reaction again for your Polearm Master feat. You also have access to your Destructive Wrath Channel Divinity. This can be used to maximize your lightning damage. If you're able to get as far as, say, 10 levels of Barbarian and 6 levels of Cleric, then your Storm Aura will become that much more efficient. If on the other hand you decide that you want a couple more levels of Cleric, then you have your Divine Strike ability, which you can then again maximize because that deals lightning damage as well. This character is slightly more relaxed when it comes to crowd control. Your aura isn't going to be dealing lots of damage, but with the additional effects you get from Tempest Cleric, you're able to push creatures around the battlefield and really break up the enemy ranks. There's also a little bit of leeway with this character. If you're finding that you make a couple of mistakes here and there, after combat, once your rage has subsided, you've always got your Cleric spells to fall back on. Don't forget you've got a couple of true gems in your Cleric spell list as well. Aid is a great example of a spell that you can use to give yourself additional hit points. You don't have to concentrate on it, it lasts for 8 hours, and these are true hit points, not temporary ones. So you can have the aid hit points and you can have additional temporary hit points from anything that the rest of your party can bestow upon you. This is really great because you can cast this spell upon yourself, you don't have to worry about losing it if you go into a rage, and all of those hit points are essentially worth double because of the resistance you get when your rage is active. That was a lot of fun to make, but it's getting to the point now where some of the classes are starting to overlap a little bit in the unconventional builds. So for any of you that saw Unconventional Bard, you'll know that I did the Savage Balladeer class, which was part Bard, part Barbarian. And I almost ended up doing another Barbarian Bard for this video, but I had the thought, I better go and check my Bard video, because I'm fairly sure that I've already done that. And it's a good job I did. Regardless, however, those were some great suggestions. It's really fun to get back into doing builds, especially the Unconventional series, because it really gets the creative process going. As with any build video, however, take what you want, leave what you don't. Did you get all the way to the end? Hopefully you didn't rage out. If you like this video, then recklessly attack that like button. If you've got similar builds or you want to request something, leave them in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, then brutally click that subscribe button and click that notification bell if you want your danger sense to proc and be notified about anything that comes out from this channel. And with all that being said, I will see you guys next time at the gaming table.